Hello, welcome to Peter's Pan. On this video, we'll be looking at the Disney Fantasies Remy restaurant. What's it like, how to get there, and all that sort of thing.
Yeah, we had a wonderful meal there. It was a special treat for a 30th anniversary celebration, so we had saved up for it.
It is an add-on to your normal dining price. Dining every night's included in Disney, and there are various places to get food from across the ships, but there are two special upgrades, if you like. The cheaper upgrade, which is really nice, is Palo, which is Italian, and then there's Remy, which is, as you can probably guess, French, and is based on the rat from Ratatouille.
Yeah. So, first things first, how do you get there?
How indeed. It is a bit complicated to get there. I double checked on the map today before we did this. You start by finding the Meridian Bar. Now, the Meridian Bar is at the back of the ship in the middle. So it's in the middle of the width of the ship at the back. And that's why it's called the Meridian. It's in the middle.
Yeah. But it's not necessarily where you might think, because it's not next to the adults only area.
No, definitely not.
We got a bit lost.
We did. Eventually we found it.
Yeah.
After the ship, and you'll notice that you're getting there because the floor below has a big picture of Remy and Emile looking over Paris.
It does, yeah.
From there, you just take one step up, and as I said, you go to the Meridian Bar, and they sit you there while someone comes to wait for you.
And to take you to your table.
Yep. Now, the Meridian Bar's a cocktail bar, isn't it?
It is, yeah. Beautifully themed. You could spend a long time just sat in the bar looking at all the theming. But we didn't actually get that much time in the bar. We were pretty soon met and taken to our tea.
We were. It's a very short walk from the Meridian Bar to Remy. We were greeted by a table greeter who was really nice, and then sat down in one of the best places we've ever been sat.
Yeah, it was a circular table and a sort of half booth. And so we were sat next to next. Yep. Which meant that we could try each other's food really easily, which they do encourage you to do.
Absolutely.
And also we had a most wonderful view of the sunset over the sea.
Fantastic. No tables in the way, no fellow diners blocking the view. It was fantastic.
Yeah, it was.
You're allowed to share because they do two different menus. And they encourage couples like us to want to have one of the menus, want to have the other, and to share.
Yeah, that's right. The menus are by two different chefs. The first one is called Saveur, which means flavour, and that is put together by Chef Arnaud Lallemand. And as you can probably guess, that is very French themed. The other is called Goût, which means taste. And the chef who's put that together is Chef Scott Hunnell, who you might recognise the name from Walt Disney World's Victoria and Albert restaurant. He's done other things as well, but obviously we're talking really good chefs here, top chefs, beautiful menus.
People who know what they're doing. A few years ago, the Victoria and Albert got a Michelin star, and it's the only Michelin star restaurant on Disney property. So yeah, they know what they're doing.
So what about drinks?
Drinks, right. You were given a free cocktail.
Indeed. I mean, I say free.
Nice. Well, yeah.
Included.
A cocktail that was included. That's called Colette, which is named after the very hard-hitting female chef in Ratatouille. Now, Jill, you've got the ingredients? Or you know the ingredients?
Yeah, it was Taittinger champagne. It was Grand Marnier, cassis pearls, and a little bit of dried pineapple that then fizzes up in the drink. It was lovely. It was really. It wasn't too alcoholish, if you like. It wasn't hit you round the head, but it certainly woke you up
Yes.
and got you ready for a really nice meal.
Yes. Disney ships only use Taittinger, that is their house champagne.
Yeah.
At some of the bars, they will have different champagnes, but the house champagne is Taittinger, which is a great brand.
So they also offer wine pairings with the meal.
Yep.
You don't have to have them, or you can do what we did and share one between us.
Yeah, and that worked really well. We didn't write down all the different wines, but they were very well balanced. The picks to go with the food were very well done, very good.
One thing that they do advise you, though, obviously, the wine pairings for the Goût menu and the wine pairing for Saveur menu are slightly different, so you need to choose which one you want. You can also have water. Yes, you can have good old tap water, but they also have a water menu.
Yes, they do. But unlike the said Victoria and Albert's, they don't have nearly $1,000 water on the menu.
No, but we did end up with a $10 bottle.
Yep.
Which was from Denmark.
Denmark, yeah.
Yes, it was called Iskilde water.
Yeah.
And it was really nice.
We were slightly tempted by the Welsh waters because we're based in Wales, but
we thought, oh, let's try something different.
Yeah, let's try something different. Yeah. So, Jill, tell us about the waitstaff.
Yeah, we had mainly two staff looking after us. We had Catello, he came from Italy, and we had Kinson from the Philippines. We also had Carlos from Portugal, who was our sommelier.
Yeah.
Who looked after all our drinks. Now, there was some lovely bit of byplay going on between Catello and Carlos. Yes. There was lots of sort of pretend rivalry between Italy and Portugal. Carlos saying that there should be Portuguese cheeses on the cheese plate, and Catello saying, oh, there aren't any good Portuguese cheeses, and Carlos bringing the port. They kept it up all the way through, and it was good fun. They were lovely people. There was nothing stuffy or formal about the whole thing.
No.
Yes, it is. I mean, it is a fairly formal meal in terms of presentation, but you're not made to feel, sit quietly and don't say anything. It's definitely, you're made to feel welcome and relaxed.
Yeah. Well, formal can be relaxed.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a difference between formal and stuffy.
Yeah.
As you pointed out.
Yeah. So, on to the food.
Well, we both had different menus. I had the Saveur and you had the Goût? Or was it the other way around?
I think so,
Okay.
Yes, yeah.
So, what were the courses like?
Well, we started off with some amuse-bouche.
Yep.
One was a pickled filled radish with a ponzu sauce.
Yep.
And the other were two little balls. One was Wagyu tartar and the other was Comté cheese.
Yes, it was US Wagyu.
Yes, not Japanese.
Not proper Japanese.
But still, so much flavour.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
The radish really cleaned your palate. It was very cleansing. And it woke your whole mouth up. The Wagyu, as Jill said, was absolutely spot on.
Yeah.
And the Comté was quite a sharp cheese. It's known for being used in croque monsieurs, if you know what a croque monsieur is.
Yeah.
So we had a kind of posh croque monsieur.
Yeah. Very tiny croque monsieur.
Yeah. Very small.
Baby croque.
Baby croque.
Yeah.
Da, 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 da,
no, let's not go there. Sorry, viewers. Then we got bread and butter.
Yep, with 3 different types of butter. We had a normal butter, we had a seaweed butter, and we had a paprika butter, wasn't it?
We did. And it comes with sourdough bread from France and also a little container of fresh sea salt.
Yeah.
fleur de sel salt that you can add as you wish.
Yep.
And then we got on to the meal proper. Now, we're not going to go through every single course. You can look things up online. You can see what's there. Also, basically, we could be here till midnight if we went through every single course. But everything was delicious.
Yeah.
We're going to put some pictures and some footage up so you can see for yourself.
It'll be fine. You'll see it. You won't miss a thing. It's cool.
So I started with a course that was just called tomato.
In fact, this was right through the menu. It was just simple one-word titles that meant you could tweak anything you wanted so long as it contained that ingredient.
It was tomato done several ways. There was roasted tomato, there was a chilled soup, there were various kinds of things, but also tomato water.
Now, if you've ever known what tomato water is, you know that it's a bit of a faff. What you do is you mash up tomatoes, you put them in a cheesecloth or something similar, hang them up, and the water drips down over time, and you get this really intense white juice that tastes like the most tomatoey thing you've ever tasted.
Yeah. And it actually came in a wine glass chilled with ice cubes.
Yes.
Yeah, it tasted great. Meanwhile, you started with what they called hiramasa.
Hiramasa,
which is yellowtail tuna.
Yellowtail tuna. Yeah,
fish.
Yellowtail fish. It was a sushi type dish, but I think it had something with that. I think it was more a ceviche than a sushi.
Yeah. Then we went through various courses. Toothfish, which I'd never come across before, which is a very unusual type of fish. Turbot. You had pork. I had Wagyu beef. You had a beef dish as well. And yeah, everything just kept coming. They kept bringing more bread if you wanted it because that butter was so delicious. We kept wanting to use the butter up with more bread.
Yeah.
They kept refilling your glass with water and bringing the next wine. So, and then of course, if you know me, you know that you can't keep me away from the cheese for long. Now, the cheese is not officially part of the standard menu.
No, the cheese is an extra paid course. And there are extra paid courses like there are in these fancy restaurants. But we have the cheese the French way, not the British way. The traditional British way is to have your dessert and then have the cheese. Whereas the French way is to have your cheese first and then finish with the sweet dessert.
Yeah. So, oh my goodness, when the cheese trolley came, I mean, you could have left me alone with that cheese trolley for the rest of the evening. But we had 5 different cheeses each to try. Yes. We had 5 cheeses each and some accompaniments as well. Some honey from honeycomb.
Some crackers, some more butter.
Yeah.
Yeah, and there was a nice choice. Obviously, the waiter knows the cheese board and knows what balance is and whatever, but we know anyway. So we had a really nice choice.
Yeah, and you can choose which ones you want, and they will advise you about the different strengths and how they're made and so on. And yeah, cheese course was absolutely delicious. And then, of course...
Well, first of all, the argument between the waiter and the sommelier about having no cheeses. Well, the cheeses were all French, so there were no Italian and no Portuguese.
But we did have a glass of port to share.
We did have a glass of port to share, yeah.
So that made Carlos happy because he could bring the port in.
Yep, absolutely.
And there were different ones to choose from. We chose one that we can't get easily at home.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Yeah, and it was really nice. The sweetness back to the cheese brought out the flavour in the harder and some of the softer cheeses as well. A very good choice.
Yeah. And then it was dessert time.
Dessert time.
We are very pro dessert.
We are, as you can tell.
This is a pro dessert channel. And we do appreciate it when they take time and thought over the dessert, and they don't
Yeah.
just, put together a few boring things.
Yeah.
And as you would expect in something of the level of Remy, they really went to town on the desserts. Yours was Valrhona chocolate?
Yes, Valrhona is a chocolate from France and is very popular with professional restaurants and high up restaurants particularly because it's very smooth, very tasty. It's not dark enough to be bitter, but not milky enough to be weak either. It's just that nice in the middle, and if you do it properly, you have the most wonderful shine and a great snap.
Yeah. Your presentation was beautiful, wasn't it?
was,
It had
yes.
like a very thin raised lid.
Yes, it did. Yes.
Yeah. Mine was based on peanuts, including peanut mousse and meringue and all various things
Yeah.
to do with peanuts.
Yep. And as you probably guessed, it was called peanuts.
Yep. I don't know whether the printer charges them by the word, but the menus leave an awful lot for you to discover when you get there.
Yes, they do.
Yeah.
The waiters do give you a good description,
They do.
so that's fine.
And then, because we told them it was our anniversary, something came out that we weren't expecting.
Absolutely.
It was a big silver egg.
Yes. For which they wore white gloves.
Yep. With great ceremony, they opened this egg, and inside was a big cake.
Yes. That says Joyeux anniversaire de mariage,
Yep.
which is happy anniversary in French.
Yeah. Now the cake wasn't completely for us. They did take it away and they brought us a piece each of the cake
Yes.
later.
They showed anybody who had an anniversary that night the anniversary cake, and then they brought it back.
Yeah.
But that came after the main desserts, so that's
Yes.
fine.
Yeah. But then, as well as that, we then had petit fours.
Yes. So the first petit four came in a smaller egg, just the same, but just a baby egg, and it was some kind of cake.
Yeah, with passion fruit and pomegranates on it.
Yeah.
Lovely and light and delicious.
And they also had more Valrhona chocolate, this case chocolate shells with various fillings, raspberry, caramel.
Yeah.
Very nice.
Oh, delicious.
Delicious. And some pâte de fruits,
Yeah.
which if anybody doesn't know what a pâte de fruits is, it's kind of a posh fruit pastel.
Yeah. Yes. It's really intense fruit, beautifully presented, a lovely square. And then we also got...
For our American viewers who might not know what a fruit pastel is.
Yeah, sort of like American hard gums, I think, but much softer.
Yeah.
Basically a big square of fruit and sugar.
Yeah.
And we also got then some lollipops, house-made lollipops.
Yes, we did. And they were pâte de fruits, but just thinner and longer on a lollipop stick, and they were delicious.
Yeah, we are probably not the only people who took those back to their cabin.
And had later, yeah.
Yeah, there was no, by this point, yes, the courses weren't big, but we certainly didn't want any more to eat at this point. So
Yes.
we took them back. We also got a rose,
Well, you got a rose.
a nice long-stemmed rose.
She did, but didn't eat that one.
No, I'm not quite that bad.
Roses are edible.
Yeah. Maybe not at the dinner table. But we took that back, took it back to our stateroom, and our lovely stateroom host, Orlando, put it in some water later and looked after it the whole of the rest of the trip for us.
His name was really easy to remember.
Yep.
Yeah. Orlando.
Yeah, if you're a Disney fan, that's
How
easy.
can you forget that? Yeah.
One thing I did want to say is that near to us there was a couple also celebrating, and the lady was vegetarian, and obviously I didn't rub her neck and see what she was being given, but I could overhear some of the things that she was being offered, and they'd obviously put together a menu of things that she could eat, and hers sounded no less elevated
No.
than ours. So if you are a vegetarian or if you have any sort of special dietary needs, do not feel put off.
Yeah.
Go and talk to them. They will do something really special for you.
Yeah. So to bear in mind, there are no children. So if you want to go here, you'll either have to put your children in the kids' clubs, of which there are many, or you'll have to have somebody else, like a relative, look after them. Because it's absolutely adults only.
Yeah, and you're there for about 3 hours.
About 3 hours, yeah.
Yeah, we got there for 6, and it was close on 9 by the time
It
we
was,
finished.
yeah. So I would give it 3 hours just to make sure.
Yeah,
Particularly if it's a busy evening and they're seating people
yeah.
quite quickly. We didn't go on a massively busy night, did we?
No.
No.
So, cost.
Cost.
Yeah. Bearing in mind that we had the wine pairings, which you don't have to have, although, to be honest, a bottle of wine wasn't that much less than one of the wine pairings.
No.
But you can perfectly well have tap water,
Yeah.
or you can have soft drinks,
Yeah.
or whatever you want. So we did have one lot of wine pairings. We had the fancy water, and we had the cheese course.
And the port was
And
an
the
extra
port,
cost
yeah.
as well. Yeah.
And then, of course, there are the inevitable gratuities, tax, etc.,
Yeah.
etc. So the final total was about $500.
Yeah, about just under $500, which I think, with your Disney goggles on, that's not bad for what you got.
Yeah. I mean, obviously, it's what the shopping channels call a considered purchase.
Yes.
You have to weigh up, are you going to get value out of this? Can you afford it? If you can, and if you want to splash out, I would say, yes, do it. It's wonderful.
Yeah, I would agree. Just something for those watching who've never done a Disney trip before on a cruise. It is an American ship. So the price you see on the menu is not the price that you pay. You have to take that into account when you're putting money aside for it. So there will be tax on top, and of course then there will be tip.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, would you say it was worth it?
I would say yes, it was worth it. Are there any downsides for me? No, not really. I'm not one of these people who likes the waiter to put down the food and then give you an autobiography of every ingredient. No, it's just not me. But the menu was so sparse and such a basic description of what you got that you needed some extra help to understand what it meant.
Yeah.
So, yeah, no, I have no qualms, no quibbles.
Yeah, I would say obviously it's not cheap. It needs to be something that you save for. I wouldn't do it every trip, but for a special occasion, okay, you better start saving. I think for a special occasion, definitely worth it. They do also offer brunch.
Yes.
And they do have a dessert experience, but we couldn't get into either of those.
We tried,
but yes, they go quickly.
Yeah.
But dinner was wonderful, and we thoroughly enjoyed it.
So, as I said in my other video, we don't give stars here. We give pans, clock pans. You've probably seen the clock pan on the title video. And, well, again, it'll be obvious when I show them. So, Jill, how many pans?
I would say a full 5 pans.
A full 5 pans? Any particular reason why?
It was just an amazing experience. You were made to feel welcome and comfortable and pampered from the minute you walked in.
Yeah, and I agree. I'm going to give it 5 pans too. There are a couple of things that I would have done differently, but that's me. You know, that's the chefs that they have. Those menus have been made by the chefs that have made them. And yeah, there are some things that I may have done a bit differently as a chef, but that's neither here nor there. It was fantastic. 5 pans.
Lovely.
Lovely. Well, I think that's all the time we got for this.
Indeed.
So I'm going to say bon appetit and a bientôt.